I'm like, well,
So is this
nigga,
a
touch
guy
your head.
who comes to the show also?
Tone X.
Yeah, who is
Yeah.
that?
Tone X is Bootleg Mike and is also on the road with me.
Bootleg Mike.
That's that nigga right there.
That's what's up, Mo.
And I've
You
been knowing
know,
Tone X. Shit, man.
I got to touch
I
on
know
that
over 20
quickly too. You
years.
know, this is what's up. This is true superstardom is when people get there. And they always talk about what they're gonna do when they get in position to. We'll talk about that. You're doing it for real.
You look good.
Thank you,
You look
sweetie.
good. Like you look healthy.
I feel
You look
good.
good, man.
We all
Okay.
ready? We ready? Anybody gonna count me down or nothing?
This is some disrespectful shit. You want me to count you down, baby?
Will you count me down?
Yes, I will. How many counts do
Just
you
for
need?
5.
Okay, you ready?
Come on.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I want you to know some Spanish.
Now you
Baby.
that little
Come
Spanish.
on with it. Don't do
How
that.
they living ain't no joke. This is quite an honor for me in that we've talked a lot through the years of almost 20 years now. My sister, let me just say how proud I am and how grateful and humbled I am that you would take the time to do some stuff for your brother and keep your word like you said you would. So many stars, before they become stars, talk about how they gonna do this. I'm gonna keep it real and I'm gonna reach back. You're actually doing it. And I wanna say thank you from me, from Tone X, from the Rodney Perrys, to all the people that you could have left behind, but you're still giving a hand up to. Thank you for that.
Baby, thank you for that. But I don't have a choice. Because somebody did it for me. There were somebodies that did it for me. And there's still somebodies that are still doing it for me.
Sure.
Like George Willborn, like Tone X, like Rodney Perry. See, it's not even a matter of me reaching back. We comics.
Yeah.
We road comics,
We are.
baby.
We
We get
family.
in that car, we drive around the country, we tell jokes. When I call you up and say, hey, George, I know it's late, but I want to run this joke by you. What you think?
Yeah.
So then who am I to then say, oh, no, George, I can't. You got the right to punch me in my face, baby, if I ever did that, ever.
I would never hit you. I thunk you in the throat.
But I'm very appreciative of those moments.
You know, as I was preparing for this interview with you, I had to deal with a lot of stuff. You and I have been friends for a very long time, and you have shared some very personal and intimate things with me through the years. And so as I prepared for this interview, I had to separate what things you gave and came to me in confidence as a friend and say, okay, well, these are the things that are just, I'm not even interested in asking. I already know the answers to them, and those are things that you shared with me. So, you know, but it was a challenge because I was like, wait a minute. No, I can't ask her that. I know the answer to that.
I know about that.
I know about
yeah.
that. But I do know that people love you so much, and they do want to know more about who you are, and they deserve to in the sense that people really don't know our struggle. They don't know how much you've gone through. Now, before we get to any of that, have your feet touched the ground yet from becoming only the 4th Black woman to receive an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress? Have you touched back down yet?
My feet hasn't touched the ground since I got to Hollywood. So I've been floating for a long time.
That's a while.
And if I was just to give it to that one night and that one trophy, I believe the universe would say, really? After all we've done, after all you've been given, you gonna give it to this one night? So I get asked that question often, like, you know, how does it feel? What you doing? What
Sure.
you say? I'm like, guys, it feels no different from the first time I got the call to say, hey, listen, this guy over here, Big Ticket Television, want to talk to you
yeah.
about doing this show called, well, they didn't have a title for it yet. They want to get you and this sister named Countess Vaughn together.
Right.
Really? So at those moments, it's like, it's no different from this moment because I'm
Sure.
still in that moment.
Ah, wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. And I feel you on that, definitely.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you having my wife do your hair. your personal
On the
that,
Parkers,
on the
baby,
Parkers,
on the
baby.
Parkers.
You was whipped up.
I think it's important for people to understand because oftentimes we get new relationships. And in those new relationships, you don't know those people. You don't know those people because they're new. And now that all of this is going on, now it's, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So I felt comfortable in saying, let me get my family. Let me get
Absolutely.
folk that I know that they got my best
Got your
interest.
back.
And I got their best interest.
Absolutely.
So for me, it ain't even a matter of pulling back or
Sure.
giving back. It's how it's supposed to be.
I feel you, and you're right on that.
That's just how it's supposed to be. Now, I need to be clear on something because sometimes people think it's an obligation. And that's where it can get confusing.
It's a choice.
Right. Because you'll have some people to say, oh, you ain't put me down. And it's like, listen, it's not an obligation. So when you come off like it's an obligation, that's where it's like, whoa,
And that's
baby.
a confirmation that that's the person that you shouldn't be doing that for.
Come on. Right. When you got to start saying, well, remember when I did, remember when I did.
Right.
Well, if you got to start reminding me, you shouldn't have done it.
Right.
Now, you can kiss my ass on all this remembrance. You know?
Remember that.
Remember this. George, remember this.
Remember that.
Yes,
Georgie.
remember this.
All that glitters is greener on the other side.
I love him, baby.
Your husband, Sydney,
Yes.
gave you 2 wonderful little boys.
Yes.
Did he complete you as a woman?
I don't even want to say as a woman, as a human being. My husband teaches me every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something from that man. Even when I don't want to learn it. Even when I want to be like, listen, don't tell me the truth right now. Damn it, lie. Because you're hurting my feelings and I don't want to hear it. But when I look at that cat, I'm just like, you're something different. You're something different. I've never seen this man raise his voice. I've never seen this brother angry. And I've been knowing him since we were 14 years old.
That's
And
deep.
I've never seen him angry. So does he complete me as a woman, as a human being, baby? Because I've never seen anybody walk in that path. You hear it. You hear it. And you say it. I ain't never seen somebody so non-judgmental. I ain't never seen somebody love so unconditionally. I ain't never seen somebody with that much patience. And you know your sister.
I do.
I'm a handful.
And some feet.
And some feet. I am. So it's like for God to allow me to share his son in this journey. Yeah, it's a lot of completion going on.
Awesome. When your kids are mentioned,
Yeah.
the 2 young boys, that's what always happens. Your face lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a 40-year-old woman,
42.
42-year-old mother of 4-year-old twins?
George, that's a blessing. And I feel like that's God's way of saying we're going to give you another go at it. Because when I had Shalon, man, I was 20. I was a kid. I wasn't prepared to be a mother. I didn't know how to be a mother. I was trying to learn. I was trying to grow. And I'm just really learning who the hell I am now. And Shalon's 19. So,
Sure.
you know, I really feel like when I got pregnant with David and Jonathan, that was the universe way of saying, okay, life is different now. Now you got time. Now you can sit down. Now you can read some stories. Now you can be patient. Now you can understand it ain't that heavy.
ain't got no
Now
excuse.
you ain't got to whip his ass at every turn because you trying to still live life because you such a young woman. You still trying to run the street. It's so the blessing is that now that I'm 42, man, when I go home and see them little cats running through the house and screaming and howling and crying and doing whatever, it's like, wow, you let me do this again.
What's the toughest part of it, though, for you? What's the hardest part about your schedule and not getting caught up again to where you don't have time, like you didn't feel like you had enough time for Shalon? What's the difference?
That is a great question. The most challenging thing for me with David and Jonathan, and I have an amazing, and we have an amazing sister and her family in our life. And her name is Veronica.
Okay.
And she's not the kid's nanny, she's their nana. Because that nana says that's family, baby.
Absolutely.
That's love. That's not a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's love. One of the toughest things was she said to me, there's going to come a time when your children cry, they're going to come to me because I'm with them. Now, and as I think about it now,
Wow.
so that's tough when your kids be crying and it's like they
And
don't
they
run
run
and say,
past you
baby,
and
run
go to-
past. And Sid would see me get, and he said, listen, it ain't gonna always be this way. So now when I come home and they be like, Mommy, I'll be just like, oh,
Thank God.
But in those moments, so I understand with single moms and moms in this business, and you got to drop your babies off, baby. You trying to get that money. You trying to get it. You trying to make it happen. So can you watch them? Can you keep them? Can you feed them? Can you check their homework? I can't make the PTA. I can't make your baseball game. Me and Shalon paid a price for me to sit here. Now at 19, I always say to him, listen, if you want to hold on to yesterday, it's up to you. Because everybody got a story. I don't regret 1 second of it because it will allow your children not to have to go through what you did.
Well, I was going to ask you about Shalon. You know, I remember him as a very young kid.
Yes.
And I remember you grinding and hustling, you know, while you had this young man, you know, and still being a mother, you know. So how did he adjust? Or is he still adjusting?
You know what, George? I think it's still an adjustment. You know, when you, like my son is gorgeous, in my opinion. He's dark, he's a beautiful black man. But oftentimes, he'll say, I don't want them to like me because you my mother. So now sometimes he's in the catch-22 because he don't want to tell him right away who his mother is, but he ain't trying to hide it that his mother's Monique.
Sure.
So it's almost like, because if they get to talking about their mother, the moment he says, my mother is
Right.
this, it gets a little different. So I think it's still an adjustment. I'm still adjusting.
Sure.
You know, it is an adjustment.
Well, let's go back in time a little bit.
Come on back to it.
Let's go back in a time when you and your brother Steve, who was your manager at the time, was going all over the country,
Yes.
comedy clubs all over the country. By the way, you ripping the comedy clubs down and him putting table tents with your pictures on each table.
Yes.
Did you ever, looking back, see yourself here without him being by your side?
Nope. I could not have imagined it. I remember us having conversations, riding back from New York with no money, and we splitting a hot dog and a bag of chips. And it was always, oh, when we get there, oh, when we get there, we're going to do it this way, and we're going to do it that way, and we're going to do it this way. Well, now I believe when they say if you want to make God bust out laughing, tell that cat your plans. Tell him your plans. And, you know, I never would have thought that we would not be sitting in this place together.
What
but
happened?
as life has it,
What happened with you and your brother Steve, Monique?
you know, in all fairness, my brother's a good guy. But I think that what happens sometimes, the lust of what Hollywood is, that whole thing of, come on, give me your money. Come on, give it to me, because I'm Hollywood. I just think that, and I don't think it's unique.
No.
I think a lot of people get caught in that. And for me, I knew that I had to make some drastic business decisions. Because had I not made those business decisions, I got to explain to my kids personally why we not eating like we used to. I'd rather make this tough business decision and hurt for a little while because it was painful.
Sure.
to stop that relationship. It was very painful. But I got to look at these babies for the rest of my life. And then their babies, God willing, I get the chance to see them, then generations I'll never meet.
Yeah.
I can't say to them, the reason why we're struggling is because I allowed someone else.
Even as close as my brother.
I won't allow my mother. I won't allow my father. No one to get in the way of generations that I'll never meet. I watched my parents go check to check and had damn good jobs. I watched everyone in my family go check to check. Even today, baby. I don't think it's unique, but I knew what that felt like as a kid.
Sure.
I knew what it felt like to have just 2 pairs of shoes. And we lived in a middle-class environment, but I knew what that was like. I knew what it was like to not have a panty and bra set that matched.
Right.
When I have a 13-year-old granddaughter, I want to be able to take her shopping and say, buy all the shit on the rack if you want to, baby. Get it!
Both them pink ones.
All of them. All of them. So I can laugh at it now,
Sure.
but those are decisions that you have to make. And I don't think that I'm in a unique situation. When you talk to the doctors of their family, when you talk to the lawyers, when you talk to the person in the family that makes the money, my story ain't unique. Because people start feeling like you're obligated. You live like that, I want to live like that too. You drive that, I want to drive that too. Then you have to start asking the questions, who's on the road for 23 hours? Who's putting in the work?
Who's writing these jokes?
I want to share, but damn, don't make it appear as if I work for you. Those are decisions that is the tough part of this thing. Because you want everybody on the ride. You do. But everybody, unfortunately, won't go on the ride.
Yeah. Or play their part sometimes.
Hey.
You had what was a very public divorce before
Yes.
you and Sid got married. I even remember when you wrote into your comedy, into your stand-up parts of the
Yes.
details of your divorce.
Yes.
Is your financial obligation to that situation over? And are you all still friends?
The financial part is over.
Okay. That shocked you that you had to end up paying him.
It really didn't. It didn't shock me. And everything that brother got, he deserved.
Okay.
Every dime he got, he was supposed to. Because when I said, I want to go to Hollywood, he didn't flinch.
How much
he
you get?
packed up. I actually had to pay quite a bit. I had to pay quite a bit.
Over $1 million?
No,
But
it was
close
not over a
enough.
million. But close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah. And again, like
And you say he
he
deserved it.
deserved it. I never understood when people go through and it's like they don't get nothing. But you told this person you loved him. But then you want them to go back to struggling and you eating steak.
Right.
Like that just didn't make sense to me. So, you know, and I wish Mark nothing but the best.
Are you all still friends? Do you ever see him?
Are we still friends? I'll say this. I'm still his friend. And I believe that he's still my friend. I really do. I just think that, again, people get to talking. And you want to believe and hear what you want to believe and hear. But if that brother called me today and said, hey, sis, I just need a friend.
Wow.
I'm right here for you, brother.
That is important.
Yeah.
That is important. Now, you took a lot of, I'm imagining, you and Sid took a lot of flack with the comments that you made about your open marriage.
Child, yes.
When I saw that, I said, how courageous, good for them to be in a place that you can be that honest and then share that honesty with the entire world. So what's the backlash from that, or has there been one?
Backlash with who?
With you making that comment and making it public that you and your husband are in an open marriage.
There's not been any backlash because we ain't paid attention to it because
Sure.
your opinions really don't matter. For me, I always felt like, let me introduce you to me. You can't introduce me to me. Now, I've been knowing that cat since we were 14 years old. This is my third marriage. The first two. Okay? Okay? My husband know who he married to.
Sure.
Now, let me say this. There's never been a man that's had me so open and loved me so unconditionally. So there's not another man that could even for a second compare to my husband. But if, for some reason, we were to have sex with another person, is that a deal breaker? No, because we understand life. You see it on TV every day. This one's divorced. This one, why?
Yeah.
Oh, they cheated.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh
Right.
Lord. Well, that ain't something that would make us say, oh, go pack up all your things, because we understand human nature.
Well, if you're in an open marriage and you decide one day that you don't like it no more, how do you close it?
You know, Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis was also in an open marriage. And she said when they got older, Ozzie was like, listen, I don't want to play no more. Oh, okay. Because what happens is, even though you're in an open marriage, you find that that ain't fun no more.
Right.
When your mother say, go on and smoke the pack of cigarettes, you damn near choke to death. Okay?
Right.
So the relationship that me and my best friend had, see, because we deal with each other in friendship,
Sure.
not in the rules of marriage. People get married, but they're not friends. People get married and don't know who they laying next to. People get married and call me up whispering, talking about, bitch, listen, I'm over such and such, but you laying next to this man and you got his sweat on you every night and you can't tell him what you fantasize about. I don't want to play that game.
Sure.
If my husband goes to Brazil, listen, take you a case of condoms and have you a ball. They say they paint them bitches in Brazil.
Will you call my wife and tell her to let
if they go together.
my
Hello, well, now listen. Come on.
stay in the background, sweetheart.
But this is what I love about it, baby. Come on
Stay
now.
in the background.
But really though,
Yeah.
okay, back at you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to be willing and open. Now, I married my friend, and I understand how important that is. As a man, the toughest thing you could tell, or one of the most vulnerable states you put yourself in, is telling your wife, you know what, if you cheat on me, that ain't a deal breaker for me.
But it ain't cheating.
Or if you have sex with it, ain't cheating if you all agree to it. I just ain't willing to agree to that yet.
Well, here's the thing. The one thing that I appreciate when I have conversations with my best friend, and he'll say, I don't own you.
Right.
I don't own you.
And that's true.
You are your own person.
Sure.
Who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with
you,
you?
yeah.
Because you got to deal with
That's
you.
big, too.
That's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
baby, there ain't another man that can compare to my husband,
Right.
to my best friend. Because when you have those kind of real talks, and then you out in the street, and you might see a brother that look good to you. You like, baby, you can't compare. Because my husband makes love to me without touching me. Can't compare
That's
to that.
awesome. That's awesome. I want to talk about your weight problem.
My weight problem?
Yeah. The lack thereof of the weight that used to be there. Now, how you going to go from the woman that empowered millions
Yes.
of plus-size women who made them, in all honesty, probably find self-esteem that they didn't know they had in themselves. I've been on book tours and watched people stand in lines and just for a chance to see and hear during our tour dates the women that you've touched and how you've changed their life. So how do you go from empowering the plus-size women to not even to barely being able to be described as one yourself now?
Here's what's beautiful. I am
And you
cute.
look gorgeous, let
Thank
me
you,
say
baby.
that. And I wouldn't change anything. But how did that happen? And why did that happen?
Right now I'm 225 pounds. If I was a boxer, I would be considered a heavyweight. And I would be the champ. Okay, I would be the heavyweight champ of the world. When I I started losing weight, I was 262 pounds.
Okay.
And Sid said to me one night, Mama, that's too much. And I want you for a lifetime.
Wow.
When people say to me, Monique, you told big women it was okay to be big. I haven't changed my mind. It's still okay to be big, but let's be big and healthy. See, I ain't going nowhere. I'm showing us our big sisters we can still be big and curvy and sexy and healthy because now I know better. And I know at 42 years old, if I'm 262 pounds, I might not meet my grandchildren.
How about that?
I might not even see my children become grown men, and I don't want to be that burden. So I keep thinking about the generations I'll never meet. So when they say, look at Big Mama, look at Big Mama, baby, she worked out, she kept herself healthy,
Sure.
but I'm still going to be Big Mama. I'm a big girl. I ain't going nowhere. So I have not changed my mind
Good.
to the big women. I still say big is beautiful, baby. If you got it, it's yours.
Our skinny bitch is still evil.
Yes. Yes, they're still hungry. They're still very hungry, and they get mad at us because we can chew and swallow. Yes, no, you know what? That started out as a joke.
No.
It was a joke, and then people responded to it so much.
Absolutely.
It's like, put it on the book cover. And I had people saying, how could you say skinny women are evil? And I'm like, wait a minute. You never had an issue when they said we were fat.
Ah.
You never said nothing. Now, if you just open the book up, you'll see I'm saying if you're skinny, fat, black, white, short, tall, love the skin you in.
Absolutely.
But I knew it would make you open the book up just from you seeing the title of the book.
Sure.
But it made me laugh when you had these smaller women saying, I don't even believe it. I wanted to say, bitch, are you insane? Now, when they was just showing moo and cows and
Right.
pigs and
That
all
was
that,
great.
no
That was
one was
hilarious.
marching saying, stop it, stop it.
No
So,
picketing.
Right.
I want to ask you a real serious question, and then and we'll wrap it up with a real light question. Remember a conversation some years ago. I just want to ask the question, leave it open-ended for you to answer it.
Okay.
How was your mother, and how was you all's relationship?
My mother is fine, and our relationship is fine. I am determined to live the healthiest, happiest life that I can, and to make sure our children live that type of life. So, and my mother taught me some valuable lessons, and I'm appreciative of that. So we cool.
Good. Most people say, if you could change one thing, what would it be? That's not my question to you. My question to you.
Because you know my answer to that, nigga.
That's okay.
Nothing.
But that's not my question. My question to you is that if you had to change one thing about your life right now, what would it be?
If I had to.
You had to. It's not even a choice. It's not an option. This is what you have to do it.
I have to change.
Yes.
If I had to change one thing in my life, I would have wanted to have a conversation with my grandmother where she was coherent before she died. I knew she heard me. When I talked to her, I know she could hear me. And you know what, George? I'm kind of scared to answer this because I don't like playing in the what ifs. I don't like playing with the universe like that. because everything happens the way it is supposed to happen.
Sure.
And it is what it is. And if I could go back to yesterday, yesterday would be the exact same way because it makes me who I am
Absolutely.
today.
I get that.
So there's nothing. If God said, you know what, either we take you right now or you change something. Hey, baby, you've given me a wonderful ride, sugar. Come on.
I think I changed my shoe size. Something.
Nothing. I will keep these 11s with the bunion on the right foot, baby, and that pinky toe to curl up under the other toe next to it. I would keep all of it.
Yes.
Because all
And
of
you
it has
should.
gotten us here.
And you should.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Maybe a movie with some dark-skinned comedian with the initials GW. Wait a minute. That could be George Wallace.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You know, what's next for me?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
I would like to wake up tomorrow morning.
And then do what?
Let it happen. I want to wake up tomorrow morning, see my babies wake up in the morning, see my husband wake up in the morning. After that, what more do you ask for? Like, what more do you say, oh, I want this and I want that? And I've learned, man. I've learned not to tell the universe what it's going to be. When you just say, you know what, I'm going to let you let it be what it's going to be. If you just get me up in it.
Yeah.
If you just let me go,
Let the eyes
baby.
open up.
That's
Sure.
it.
You know, I wanna thank you again for you know, I'm living a dream. I'm getting a chance to do How They're Living Ain't No Joke with my best friend and my wife. And Sink or Swim, it's me and her.
Yes.
But it's wonderful friends like you. And not just from the friendship part, it's wonderful people like you that allow other people to see and reach parts of their dreams. And that's big stuff, sister, you know? And it's something that I refuse to squander, you know? I'm very appreciative of that. You know, this was valuable time. In fact, the most valuable thing that we have in this world is our time. So I appreciate you taking the time to spend with me. And I love you. Much continued success to you.
Thank you, baby.
I believe that this is only the tip of the iceberg for you.
You say that to me all the time.
And I do believe that. And in the words of the chick that was in the factory with the officer and the gentleman, way to go, Paula. We're rich.
Way to go,
Way
Paula.
to go, Paula.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. And
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of you and Peyton. I'm so proud of y'all team. Because again, the moment you realize the person you lay next to, that's it. And if you can't share it with that person, who can you really share it with? And you know you got a soldier on your arm,
Absolutely.
baby.
I got a general.
So, come on.
So I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you, Mama. I love you,
I
baby.
love you, baby.
Thank you so much, sis.
Nigga, you ain't got to thank me for that. You ain't got to thank me for that.
Had me in tears down there.
Shit. Goddamn.
A lot of years, man. A lot of years. My girl ain't forgot nothing. My girl ain't forgot nothing. Nigga, she
I remember motherfucking Houston.
Always.
We had to
When
speak
that
the
bitch
money
was trying to fuck with us, baby, and you did like that, baby, and
up. We
shit.
just scrape up our money and put that to money to pay for that bill.
We went to breakfast with it was like, okay, who got it now? Who
Wait a minute.
got it? Who got it?
Mo play with toys.
She always played with her toys with me. Always. She always have been the type. We've
told
always
Tony-
played from
I
the
said,
from the
Tony-
first time.
Well, let me tell you, I said, Tony, I said, Mo, go for here. He said, Mo, I said,
She's always been willing to play with her toys with other people. Only the ones that's deserving though.
they're playing her
Cause and if she give you one of her toys to play with,
And if
and
you
you
take
don't act like you know how to play, take that
If you
toy
tell-
back.
if you tell her to steal her toy,
Or Or you keep that. Remember that toy? That'd be the last toy.
Yeah. Keep that goddamn Matchbox car, baby, because that's it. Yep, it.
I love you, Mama. Okay. I thank you for on behalf of my
Thank
staff.
y'all
You
so
all.
very much.
Let me introduce you to this. Is our assistant Cherie. We finally got an assistant. We can't pay her, but she's nice.
We did pay her.
I'm just kidding.
He said, but she's nice. Hi, baby.
This is our head writer, Marty.
That's our photographer.
This is our photo editor. She does all of our stuff. Eric is our video guy.
Hey, baby.
And Hula is our video and
Hey, Hula.
webmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, baby.
I love you, baby. Thank you, Mama.